Good morning, guys. It's just after 9. I just woke up. Still a little groggy. Thinking about going back to bed, actually. Before I do that, though, I'm going to watch a little YouTube, see if that wakes me up. If it does, then I will turn around and read the Bible and get on to my workout and shower. Either way, you will know. Well, I'll chat at you later. Bye for now. I'm awake again. I'm more awake. I'm okay to make the day. My back, not so much. I'd have probably been better off nodding off here and ended up with a migraine. It took me quite the few minutes to even sit up and get out of bed. My back is that tight. It's no fun. Just over a year ago, I spent, just under a year ago. Hasn't been a year yet. It was April of last year. I ended up spending the better part of the month in bed, and come the beginning of May, I had to call an ambulance because I couldn't get out of bed anymore. They had to take me out of here and take me to Emerge so I could get something to help my back, because I couldn't live. I had food in my bed, I had meds in my bed, and I lived in my bed. I also had like 2 different Bibles in my bed, and I read constantly whenever the pain flare up. It just, oh my God! Every time there was a flare up, I was reading that Bible, and let me tell you, it's what got me through it. I had the strength to go through it, and I just, as alone as I was, I didn't feel alone at all. It sounds like the weird part, but in all honesty, the only thing I prayed for was that God didn't leave me alone through it, and He didn't. I had bottles upon bottles of pills there, and nothing. I took what I needed when I needed, and that was it. And I made it through it. So I'm very careful about my back. I really try not to get it to be so tight. I have YouTube in the background, so you might be able to hear Plus Size in Canada again. But more often than not, sitting up, changing positions, doing something different helps my back. I did carry my 2-year-old nephew for quite a while yesterday, so I know that's put pressure on my back as well. As great as it is for trying to lose weight, because it builds your muscles, it kind of kills the back while you're at it. So hopefully that'll be better in time. So right now I'm just sitting here watching YouTube, as well as drinking a Diet Coke. Yeah. You can thank my sister for that one. She kind of got me hooked on this stuff. But I have things to do today. I have to clear off my desk because my brother-in-law found the glass shelves that go on top of it that he couldn't find when they gave me the desk, him and his wife, my sister. So that's on the plan today. And then that way too, it'll give me someplace else to be able to sit and record rather than on my fancy futon. And I will be able to sit there and have you propped up with my little tripod on those little shelves. So later on, when I'm feeling a little bit better, I will have you with me and we will do it together. So, but right now it's listen Z back time. So I'm just gonna sit here and, well, it's a different position, so it's kind of stretching the muscles, stretching the back a bit. So while I do that, I will watch my YouTube, and when I feel better, I will bring you guys back on, and hopefully by then I will have read the Bible and done my workout, and we will get to it. You will help me sort, organize, and put things where I should have them. Specific homes, I've been trying. You will get the full view of the disaster on my desk prior as well as the after, once everything is done. And you will be there to help me put these shelves in. My brother-in-law said it's simple. The screws are there. They're just, he calls it Philip. I thought that was a flathead. Apparently that's the star head. I don't usually use tools. When I do, I know what I'm looking for and I know what I'm using. I don't usually tell anyone. It comes from years of doing everything alone. So, whatever. But I have screwdrivers. It's a matter of them fitting. I have used flatheads because I have just a like pen clicker kind of screwdriver. But they work. So, we'll go through all that later when I'm feeling a little bit better. Talk to you soon. So I did a thing while sitting here watching YouTube. It helps though, but it is fun. I colored in my Bible. That was the last one I did. It's fun. I like it. It's Promise Bible that my sister and my mom got me a couple years ago for Christmas, and I've been coloring in it because, well, that's the point of this Bible. It's a journaling Bible, and it helps me to get more into the Word. So the verse today was, "When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flames kindle upon thee." Isaiah 43:2. It's another way to read the Bible. You get extra verses in. To me, it takes my creative side and puts it into a biblical way. So as much as sometimes it bleeds over, I will show you the bleed over, but it's a beautiful bleed over. So, and I don't mind it because it's pretty. And then with the blank pages, I can go ahead and add things, like I have printed things off. I just didn't color it in yet. And I literally, with those ones, there was no Bible verses, so I had to go do the homework and figure out what Bible verses they were, so I could put it in at the right spots. So I've got a few of those, and I have other ones printed, and I try to color a little bit every day, so that, especially when it comes to sermons, and life groups, which is our Bible studies, when a verse is brought up to me in that sense, I go and color it in, just to kind of cement that verse in me. This is actually my first time reading the Bible straight through. I am in, I think it is Isaiah. Yes. Today's verses are 31 to 33. It's an average of 3 verses a day, depending on the book. Some books, because it's so short, or the verses are so short, that it's 4 or 5, or to finish the book. And I started reading it last year, but my goal was last year to read from January 1st to January 1st, which would have been the last couple verses. But due to the fact that I didn't always read, I wasn't very consistent. I am quite far behind. I am literally about halfway through reading the Bible, but I'm doing it. And it always seemed daunting to me. When growing up, we had New Testaments, and anyone who's ever read the Bible, or at least the New Testament, knows that it starts out with the lineage, I think it's called. It's literally, it's a whack load of names. Like, if I were to open it to Matthew 1, let's see if I can get to it fairly quickly. It is literally name after name after name. And to me, growing up and reading that was like, and they paint something else. Mark, Matthew. Oh, a little too far, that's not okay. Alright. The New Testament. So, Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac was the father of Jacob. Jacob was the father of Judah and his brothers. And it goes on and on and on and on. To me, at the time, it was like, what do I care who was the father of who? And it meant nothing. Like, even just, turning the page and saying, okay, well, I'm going to skip that and I'm going to start at Matthew 16. It's like, I can't do that because that's not right. It never meant anything to me. But since I started reading from the Old Testament and reading from the beginning, Adam and Eve, and through to Moses and Noah's Ark and all those people, now I know when I read this, I remember Abraham. I remember reading about Isaac. I know how they play in this story, and I know about Jacob. And actually, he had a brother. I pronounce it Esau. I'm probably wrong, but that's who I read. And then Jacob was the father of Judah and his brothers. I remember these names, so it puts it into context now. That when I get to Matthew, it's not going to seem daunting. It's just going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. Just like as if you were reading a novel or watching like Harry Potter or something. And it's like, oh, I remember that from the first movie. It puts it into context. And I'm so excited to read the Bible now. It's not even funny. It's amazing. And the effect it has on me is incredible. Just by reading the Bible, attending church every week, and just learning, I have let go of so much anger from my past. So many things that I see deteriorate people from the inside out, of experiences I've been through that they have been through, that literally, in a way, it is understandable. The poop I have been through, which as time goes on, I will open up and tell people. And, some of it being through my own mistakes. Like, granted, I've made my mistakes. I've had to live through consequences of said mistakes. And I understand that now. But my life could have been completely different. I could have let that rule my life and therefore ruin my life. The anger I had at events, at things that happened through my mistakes, other people's actions. As much as, yes, I still have mixed feelings, I can handle those mixed feelings better. I can control those mixed feelings better. And I know which feelings I should feel. I could feel the anger. I could feel the sadness. I could feel all that and let that evil build in me. I could have became an alcoholic. I could have became an addict. And you know what? I could have done that little deed that I so felt like doing so many years ago. But then what? People would have to have lived with my actions. And drinking, yeah, you get drunk. Yeah, you know what? For the night, I didn't think about that thing that's bothering my life today. But then guess what? You have to live with the actions of the things that you did when you don't remember that mistake you made. The consequences that you're living with from before. Plus, now you're playing with your health. Like, people drink all the time. And in moderation, no, it's not going to hurt the average person. But when you're drinking to drown things, it will affect your health. So there's that repercussion as well. And, well, everybody knows the repercussions of being an addict. It's just automatically your health is just going to poop. So, again, why should I get into that? But I do understand. I know the reasoning behind it because one, addiction is in my family. So I am, like, bio family. So I am beyond careful about what I consume, what I put in my body. I would rather sit here in pain than take pain medication. It's just the way that I am. I will suffer from a migraine the entire day in hopes not to take a pill, because that's the way I am. The only thing I take on a regular basis is birth control because of the PCOS. So I do try. I was taking a lot of meds last year, and so I was ruining my stomach. I now, if I take naproxen, which does help with the more severe stuff, and I'm not talking like last year's severe, I mean like day-to-day severe, I end up to a point where I have to take another pill with it because it's too hard on my stomach. It doesn't matter if I eat or not. It will literally feel like gut rot. Anyone who drinks and has had gut rot knows that feeling, but it's severe gut rot. So I'm very careful on that. But the Bible, reading the Bible, it has been my niche, my thing that has helped me. And as much as I want to sit here and say, it is for everybody, and it is, you have to find your way into it. You have to figure out how you will go about it. It's not a matter of everyone just needs to pick up a Bible. No. Some people, yes, they need to pick up the Bible and they need to read it. Some people need to be told over and over, Jesus loves you. For me, Pete, people pray all the time. God, give me a sign. Just give me a sign already. You're not giving me a sign. I had that sign, and I didn't see that sign. It was there. Oh my God, and I didn't know it. Looking back about 2012, and, well, I was severely depressed, and that thing was on my mind all the time. And I had come out of a thrift store, and it was a sort of biblical thrift store, and in the entry exit lobby they had booklets, religious booklets. They had verse pictures that you could put in an 8x10 picture frame, and they had these things, and I saw one, and I'm like, I like that, I want that. So I took it home and I slapped it on my fridge. After a while, I'm like, I have it. I was brought up Catholic. I'm like, I should know at least one verse out of the Bible, and I have it in my home. I should at least know what's on my fridge. And I did. I put myself in a position where I'm like, I'm going to read that every single time, not just every day. Every single time I walk by my refrigerator, every time I see it, I will read it. Every time I'm in my fridge, I will read it. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. It clicked. It sunk in. I learned it. All by heart. My Bible has been closed, so I didn't read it. I know it off by heart, but I didn't learn it inside. Inside, I didn't learn it. I didn't learn the message. I had the perfect words. I had the beautiful words. I had it. But I didn't listen to it where I needed to. And it didn't sink in until January of... Was it January 2020? I was asked to do my testimony at the church. But it was going to be an interview style. But my pastors don't believe in, I'm going to have you come up and we're going to completely wing it and hope to God it works out. She gave me all the questions. Yes, I have a husband and wife team pastors, and it's been amazing. Best deal I could have ever had. And walking into that church is a whole other story. Another story for another day. I'm already at 14 minutes on this one, and I will tell you how I felt when I first walked into this church. Amazing! But she said she was going to do my interview. They try to do it per comfort level too, the couples, and they split half and half. So she, to help with comfort levels, especially knowing that I'm shy. So even doing this, nobody's in my house. Nobody sees this until after I posted it, and I'm not going to care what people say because this is me. This will help someone. But she knows I'm shy. And she knows my past, my history with men, so she took my interview. And so I had the questions, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, it's the night before. I need to figure out what I'm going to say because I'm a procrastinator. This is what I do. And I procrastinated to the night before, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to figure something out that I'm going to say. And I'm going through the questions, and I'm answering it. I'm putting it down on paper so that I have some semblance of what I'm going to say the next day. But at the same time, I didn't want it scripted. I didn't want to have cue cards. I didn't want to, speech it. It's not like my first testimony where I was up there alone and it was my speech. And then it's like, okay, what's your anchor verse? I only know one verse. I only know John 3:16. And it's like, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's not just a verse I know. It is my anchor verse. Because back in the day when I learned it, it was during a time where I just wanted to feel loved. I just wanted to be loved. I didn't care by who. I just wanted love. I was in my 20s, and then I had never really felt love except from my children. Again, that's a story for another day. But I had never really felt loved by anyone. And that's when it hit. All that time I spent depressed. All that time I felt unloved. I was loved. I just didn't see it. It was in my face. I had a flippin' sign and I didn't even see it. But it was there. It was always there. And that's when I figured out that John 3:16 was my anchor verse. And that was my clincher. That's when I knew. That's when it was like, oh my God. God had never, ever given up on me. Though I thought he had. Though I thought he did. And, excuse me, I haven't led the best life. And mind you, it hasn't been the worst of lives. I did make my mistakes. I did end up with 3 wonderful blessings out of it. Which, again, then I made mistakes. But looking back, I can see God was here for this. God was here for that. God protected me from this. God protected me from that. Because how did this not happen? How did I walk away from this and that? Not a scratch on me. I'm still alive today. Him. The good Lord. It's the only way. There's no other way. There's no explanation. Because looking back, I shouldn't be here. But I am. And for that alone, I wake up every day. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. I get a new chance every single day to make my life better. I can't make up and make right some of my mistakes. But I can accept it. Accept the consequences. Live with it. Work within it. And make the most of it. Make the best of it. Change my life. Be a better person. I was running the food bank at my church before this whole thing hit. And to that last day, I still looked at it and I was like, Nina has an office. I have an office. Nina, I have an office. Miss F up. Miss will never amount to anything. Has an office. She has her own office. She went from that girl to this girl, where clients stop me in the middle of stores and say, because of you, thank you. And why am I there? Because the good Lord put me there. I didn't ask to work the food bank. I wasn't asked to work the food bank. I simply, yes, I'm crying. I simply asked, is it something that someone needs to be trained, or can anyone do it? When people say their job opening, I always ask the basic questions because I know people who are looking for work. I didn't know when I asked the husband pastor that God had already chosen me. By the time we were done our conversation, and we hardly even talked about the position, I was set to come in the next Monday, and I was nervous. And I'm like, you know what? I've been to the food bank so often. I know the drill. I know it off by heart. You sit in the waiting room, and then you go in, you verify your information, and then once your information is verified, then you go to the back and you get your food. Though we do it differently. Nowadays, it used to be you get, okay, do you want white rice, brown rice? Do you need any feminine hygiene products? Do you need baby stuff? You have a shelf behind you, pick X amount of items depending on your family size. But the bulk of it, you had no choice. When they walk into my food bank, the one I run, it is literally their shopping trip. I give them their maximums, and they work within it. So literally, it's, okay, you're allowed 2 pasta because your side of your family says you're allowed 2 pasta. That's pasta, rice, that kind of stuff. And so if they want to choose the small box because the small box is the name brand, or it's the whole wheat, or it's that fancy pasta that their kid absolutely adores and will devour every single day without fail, they can so choose that. If they're gluten intolerant or they're celiac, that's okay, because I have my stash, because I know how hard it is, because I'm gluten intolerant. And so it's a whole different dynamic. They choose what they want, and it changes people's lives. And I was able to do that for people because God put me there. It's life-changing. I swear. It is absolutely life-changing. But I am just noticing that I'm over 22 minutes and I have 25 minutes of record time. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment boxes, and I can talk about this again later. What I really need to do is get my day going, get to that desk, clear it off, so then I can turn on my laptop, edit yesterday's videos, and get them off my phone and put them out. Because I can't do any of that because my laptop's a little bit buried in the whole kit and caboodle over there. So I will read the Bible. I will get around to my workout. I will be dressed. I will get that done. And yes, I will bring you back. I will figure it out. If I have to put my laptop someplace else and transfer it, I will do so. I will show you that mess. I'm at 23 minutes. I better let you go now. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, I'm back and it's time. It took me a while to get the motivation. It is currently 20 after 7 in the evening. Motivation is a huge issue for me. One look at my apartment and you'll see between the pain, the depression, and the lack of total motivation, nothing seems to get done. So hopefully by vlogging and trying to create content, that might motivate me to do at least one little thing every single day. Today being the desk. It's not totally 100% bad, but you cannot put a single thing on here like the little shelves that I got. So that is the task at hand. So that is what I am going to do. I'm hoping to get to a point where I have little things on the desk. I will record myself putting the shelves on, but I do not have the space on my phone currently to be able to record cleaning off the desk as well. So, like I said, it's about 20 after 7. Let's see how long this takes. Talk to you in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. This is about the best angle you're going to get without having to stop and restart the video because I have to rearrange the camera. But it's pretty easy. I already set up the other one so I would know what I was doing. So essentially I just pull these out and pull these ones out. And they take a few. This is why I didn't want to do both of them on camera. I also didn't want to sit here for 20 minutes trying to figure it out when I only have 12 minutes to be able to get this done with you. Also, this kneeling part is getting a little difficult on the back and the knees. I do apologize for my shirt. I'm trying to be as conservative as possible here, but with the angle, it's not the easiest. So I do apologize for that. Ugh. Just getting the third one out here. You didn't see the second. I do apologize. It's simple. It's just untwisting this. Boring. Totally boring, I know. You will get to know me and get to know that every once in a while, to get over the nerves, I do get a little chatty boxy. So I'm sure you saw that in the last clip. Here I put down the little rubbery little nut things. And then these go onto here, like so. Fairly simple, as you can see. Then I take this big one, and it goes under here. Right through the whole pole, and right to the top up in here. And it's not aligned. There we go. Which means the other ones won't be aligned either, but that's alright. I will figure it all out. And of course it's going to be difficult. Come on. Where are you now? Come on. There we go. So, now that it's in there, give it a couple twists so it stays in. And then these ones, like about every other bolt you will find, they go under here and under here, under the table, which unfortunately with your angle you're not going to get to see. I've already had to slide out the keyboard drawer, which is not being used for a keyboard because I don't have a desktop. I have a laptop. I'm actually in the process of saving for a new one. And again, get a couple twists in there just so it doesn't fall out. Oh, no, it's... wasn't aligned properly, which when you can't see what you're doing because of solid things like this, it makes it more difficult. Okay, so that is in enough. And then I have to do it with the other one, which is this one, which should be a little easier to align since the other two are aligned. And there we go. It is aligned. So now it's a matter of tightening this one a little bit, but never tighten all the way, because if the other ones aren't good, then you're just going to ruin everything, and then you be stuck without the pieces that you need. So always make sure that you don't tighten it all the way before you get all of them, because then everything's not on the proper angle either. A little tidbit that I learned a while back. So you always get them snug, and then you turn around and tighten everything. Okay, and now for the last one, and then I get to tighten the 3 and I'm done. Feel bad my arm's in the way, but you're not going to see anything anyways. Everything's underneath the desk, which I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory, really, but I did say I would do it with you. So, and voila, nice and sturdy and pretty. And now it is completed. Ta-da! Ta-da! And don't mind the mess in the background. You guys will help with the motivation to get that stuff done. And now I can sit up here and talk to you hands-free. I don't always have to hold you anymore. So, thank you for coming along and helping me get this done. I've had these shelves since yesterday, and it was high time that I did it, because otherwise I was just going to sit on the table in the living room and just stay there. So, on to the next task. Time for me to make some supper, if my chicken's caught. I will talk to you soon. Well, I got some bad news. I've been on my laptop probably the last 10 minutes, and I can't download an editing app, and it just keeps buffering and loading. It's pretty much a poopsicle. It was pretty much poopsicle when it was purchased used by an ex and then later given to me. It overheats and shuts off, and even with the battery pulled, it just doesn't want to stay on. It doesn't want to work. So I literally desperately need to get a new laptop. So hopefully soon. But not a big deal. I'll edit on my phone and put yesterday's up. I'm waiting after the chicken to keep thawing anyways. So you may actually get a video today. See you soon. Well, first video's uploading. It is currently 8:32. It says it'll take another 20 minutes for it to load. On YouTube, of course. Mind you, I'm also in a position where I'm running out of room in my phone. I need to learn how to do a picture thing that goes at the top. Why can I not remember what it's called? Jeez Louise. A thumbnail. That's the word. I need to know how to make a thumbnail and add it on there. But other than that, it should be fine. I need to go look on YouTube for things like this. And then maybe how to schedule an upload. I don't know how to do that one, and I didn't get an option as far as I saw. I don't know if you have to have so many people to as subscribers before you do that. I have no idea, but I'll figure it out. Day 2 for the first vlog video is up, and I played around with some thumbnails because I kind of figured it out. I watched a video on, guess what? YouTube! So I have taken a picture of thumbnail for day 2. However, thank God for editing. Unfortunately, for day 1, I had a picture. I had screenshotted a picture from the video for yesterday, and as it turns out, it completely zoomed it in. So hopefully taking a sideways shot, as you are sideways now, rather than the way you've been this entire time, will make the difference, and we'll end up with a proper thumbnail. thumbnail. And we will find out tomorrow when I post video for logging day 2. So we shall see tomorrow. See you tomorrow.